How's it going, everyone? It's SavageSkull, and I just saw The Batman. Now, this movie was released on Friday, and when I went and saw it, it was really, really fun. Just a quick few things about the movie to begin. There will be spoilers in this video, so please be warned. I definitely don't want to spoil it for you. Unless you really want it spoiled and you have no chance of seeing it in the near future, be my guest to finish watching this video. It's been a long time since I've talked about any movies on this channel, and I figured what better to than a new Batman movie. When I went and saw it in the theaters, it was really, really good. I just want to say that this movie is pretty much done perfectly, at least in the way it's executed. The writing's good, the storytelling is good, and the cinematography at a few times blew my mind away to how long a shot was held, to where the camera was placed, to where the focus is. It's really, really cool and kind of reminds me of Michael Bay, but the new director, Matt Reeves, definitely knew what he was doing in creating a superhero movie. Now, the story is a little bit rocky at times, but kind of falls on the same category as the Dark Knight movie from 2008, where the villain's plot had almost zero chance of success, but the way it was carried out was so well done in both movies, in The Dark Knight and The Batman, that it worked really, really well and meshed together with an overall story. There are some problems I have with the story, being that it's pretty much impossible for the Riddler's plan to carry out, but I didn't even know that Riddler was the villain until watching the movie. All the trailers led us to believe that Penguin would be the main villain, which wouldn't actually be true. Some of the acting isn't the best. I really, really liked Pattinson's performance with the Batman. It was really, really good. His take on the character of the Batman. But some of the other characters, like Catwoman, was really, really underwhelming to me, which made me sad because it's such an iconic character. The Riddler, while his performance was really, really good, the costume design they gave him just made him look like any other person that could have been a bad guy. And later he has some copycats that even dress up like him that look exactly like him, which totally ruins the whole standalone villain thing. Well, he needed a bunch of followers, which fits with the story, but the fact that he dressed up in such a casual way throughout the story kind of makes it seem underwhelming. The thing they did well with The Dark Knight's Joker is the fact that he looked both intentionally weird, but not so far off that you are put out of it and realize it's a comic book movie. With the example of the Riddler from the Batman, it's too casual and not enough standalone-ish that it kind of makes you feel like this villain is just another person. It is another person, and later on in the movie, you do notice that he's just like Bruce Wayne. However, it's too much that it doesn't feel like a Batman villain. The Riddler's traps, technically, the way he kills his victims is very reminiscent of the Jigsaw Killer from the Saw movies, where he puts his victims in traps and they have to do some things in order to survive. None of them comply, so there is technically no win rate with the traps that the Riddler set up because everyone dies, except in the case of Bruce Wayne, who is targeted as one of the victims, and he doesn't die, but almost nothing bad happens from that. Alfred, who is played by the wonderful Andy Serkis, is put in a hospital, but nothing really bad happens because of that. Alfred does not die and is not really later explored in the movie. There's about 5 minutes where Robert Pattinson's Batman is sitting as Bruce Wayne in the hospital next to Alfred, and Alfred tells him that his father was a good man, but it didn't really add a lot to the story. It kind of, hyped the Batman up to finish the movie, but it was never discovered later on. He never thanked Alfred afterwards. We don't see him at the end of the movie, and kind of threw me off. Other than that, which is, I realize is a lot of things, but the movie was super, super fun, well executed, a great adventure, and a really dark and gritty take on the Batman. Even more so than The Dark Knight and the Nolan trilogy. All great movies, but I really, really liked this Batman movie more than I thought. I was really impressed with the previous Christian Bale's iteration of Batman and Ben Affleck's iteration of Batman that I wasn't too sure going into this movie, but anyone who steps into this movie will indeed have a good time. So please go check out the Batman. I didn't make it. I'm not being paid to say that, but it's just a really, really good movie, and I thought I would talk about it on my channel just because it's so well done. The movie plays with a bunch of different colors. There is a bunch of tan and orange tones, but red, just like seen in the trailer, is definitely at key here. The way that the camera is shown and all the things are framed really, really inspires me as someone who works with cameras every day. Heck, there's one in front of me recording me right now. And there's lights here. It just really, really inspired me to do something crazier. So maybe I will talk about more movies in the future. But there's just one more thing I have to talk about the Batman. The new Batmobile also has the same problem that the Riddler had in this movie. It looks too casual. The new Batmobile kind of to me just looks like a souped up like old Chrysler or old Dodge Charger to me than an actual Batmobile. The thing about Christopher Nolan's is his looked more like a tank, but was able to turn into a bike, so like a Batmobile and a Batbike, but also captured the essence of that Batman being armored up. This one has nothing to do with the new Batman and kind of just looks silly. Here's a photo of the Batmobile here, the new one. It doesn't have any bat insignias on it from what I could tell, but it just didn't feel like the Batmobile to me. I guess I shouldn't be taking for granted the fact that there was even a Batmobile in this movie because there didn't need to be technically. It is integral to one scene and the trailer, I guess. So I guess I can't say much about that then. So thank you so much for watching. Go check out this film if you'd like to. And if you can't, please leave a big thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Please comment down below what you thought of this movie and if I should talk about other movies. But I'm leaving this movie a big fat 8.5 out of 10. It was really, really fun, really, really good. Wonderful way to spend 3 hours of my day. I'm SavageSkull, and I'll see you on the flip side.